Hi, it's Nick. These are two other engines that I received from my neighbor. But before I go over them, I just want to bring the other engine that I received from the neighbor. As you can see, they all have the same body, but they have a different paint scheme. These two have the blue with the yellow and the red. And this one here has a blue, silver with yellow. And this one reminds me of the wall bonnet scheme. And this might be a wall bonnet scheme, but I'm used to it being red. But I just wanted to bring that out. Now what I'll do is I'll go over the dummy engine first. As you can see, the front, the coupler, it doesn't operate. And I like the yellow, how they put it on the cab and then they worked it down towards the nose. And then the yellow breaks into a stripe and it goes all the way back to the back. And then the red stripe starts here and it comes down and all the way down, and then it just works its way back to the back of the engine. Thought that was kind of neat. The condition of it, of the paint, on the front, I don't know if you can see it in the video, but there's little cracks in this area. And then also on the top over in this area. But the roof seems to be in pretty good shape. Needs a little cleaning. And then you have the Santa Fe right in here. Then you have some yellow stripes going on both sides of it. One thing I did notice is that this piece of plastic is supposed to carry over to this side, but unfortunately it broke. So whoever was the previous owner, they were kind of rough with the engine, both engines actually. What I'll do now is I'll go to the side of it. I think you can see that. The trucks are plastic, but they have some nice little detail. They have a door, the ladder here with the door and the window, but there's no plastic in the windows. Then they carry this yellow right across here. Goes for the grills, and there's some more grills, and then you have little portholes, 1, 2, and 3. Then you have another little ladder here, and then it goes to the door, but of course it's all molded into the plastic. And then the writing, it has the Santa Fe, and over here it says built 857 by Lionel. And it has the number 208, and all the lettering and the numbers are in yellow. But going back to this built 8-57, I guess that's when they built these two engines. And since the other engine has the same body, perhaps it was also built in 1957. Now the top, I'll just tilt it a little bit with my hand. You have a horn. And then you have a little device here, which I'm not sure what it is. Now you have this opening. Now if this was a motor in here, you would have a piece of metal sticking out. And usually that is for the directional relay, where if you put it in one position, it breaks the current from the directional relay, and the engine won't move. No matter how many times you press the directional button on the transformer, it just won't move. But this doesn't have it because it doesn't have a motor. And then you have some nice riveting here, and this is where the fan is, and you have some more riveting, and you have little grab irons here. Then we'll go to the back. See the back? It has a door. It has a frame here with some lines and something over on the top of it. And then this is another coupler. which doesn't operate. And it even has the spring so that when it goes one way, it keeps it in a straight line. So basically, you know, that's the engine. I'll turn it over. And I noticed there's no pickups here for the third rail, so that tells me there's no bulb in this unit. And also I noticed on the side they have a place where you put the number board, but there's no number there. And of course, if there was a light, it wouldn't shine through it because it's all plastic, solid plastic. What I could do, I could oil the wheels, and I do have some oil, which is right here. So let me just get it up. Just do a little oil. You just put a little bit in this area, in that area, one there, little there. Then we'll go to the front ones and do the same thing. Okay. Right there. And right in there. Okay. We'll just give it a couple of spins. And you don't hear any rubbing, so that tells me the oil is already in there. It's set. So basically, that's all I can do with that engine, except of course clean it with maybe a little mild soap and water. But basically that's it. So I'll put this on the side, and we'll start with the unit that has the motor. Now, of course, I'm not going to go over the body or anything because it's the exact same as the dummy. So what we'll do is we'll open it up and we'll see what's inside. Turn it here. It's a common screw. We'll get a common screwdriver. And I'll tell you right now, as I'm taking the screw out, I notice right in this area here, this door, it's cracked. So they really were rough with this. So what we'll do is we'll take the body off and we'll see what we have in here, which is a lot of detail in this engine. Why don't we just start to see if the motor runs, and then I'll go over all the parts in it. So let me just get this so it's the back wheels are off the bench, so when it does go, hope it does go, it won't run off onto the bench. So we'll put the neutral on, and then we'll get hot on. Hook it up there. And it's still on. Alright, let's see what happens. Oops, let's try that again. Okay. Oh, power hot must have came off there. Try it one more time. Let's try this again. And we'll see if the motor works. Oh, that's a good sign. Let's see which way she's spinning. Put my finger in there so I can feel it. Alright. It's going in reverse. That's going forward. Right now, we know that the motor works, but not only that the motor works, that the relay works. It went forward, neutral, reverse, reverse, neutral, forward. So that's working. Now I'd like to see if this is working. Now the position that this lever is in, it's making contact with this contact here. And once it does that, it allows current to go to the coil, which it did, and it worked. But when you take this lever and you put it in this position, it takes it off of this contact. Now when that happens, no current should go to that coil. And the reason why they did that, let's say this engine is on a siding and you don't want to run it, but you have another engine or train and you want to run it on another track. That engine on the other track, you can run it, hit the directional forward, reverse, and it'll work. But this engine will not operate because of the fact that the directional switch has no power going to it. Now, of course, you finish playing with the other engine, and then you just put this one back into that position, and then you can run this one. Okay, so now what I'll do is I'll go over what each part is in this engine. As you know, this is the motor, and as we mentioned, this is the directional relay, which sends power to the motor, and also makes it go forward or reverse or neutral. This relay that you see here, and I'll turn the engine, maybe you can see it better. Use the hands, but gotta get it so you can see it. You can see it. Now this relay, when it's energized, it picks up this contact and it makes this lower one makes contact to this unit here. And once that happens, it allows DC current from a DC battery, which would be in this compartment on the other side, and I'll show it to you later. It would allow DC current to run down this wire, and in this housing of the horn, there's a coil. And once that coil is energized, there's a hammer that hits this diaphragm, and you get the sound. It's like a buzzing sound. And that represents the horn. So what we will do is I want to check the part where you put the battery in, and I see it's kind of dirty. So what you usually use, what I use, is a small piece of sandpaper, which I have to get. I thought I had it with me. is right here, and I'm just going to clean it right in this area. This is where the copper is. Doesn't take much. Looks pretty good. And then I'll just do the back part. This is where the neutral part of the battery goes up against, and the copper is where the positive part. Now I'll pick it up so you can show you the copper. It's right here, and you can see how it's shiny right there. I think you can see that. And then the back is just a piece of metal frame, but I clean that. So now I'll put the battery in, and we'll see if that horn works. Okay. And I do, oops, I'm sorry, I hit the camera. Here's the DC battery. We'll put it in. I like it, but it's a nice fit. Now I'm going to turn the engine around so you can actually see this relay work once I put the power on. And of course, let's pick up that engine. It shouldn't go on, but we'll just be safe. Make sure. Of course, this I'm putting in the off position, so that should not work. The motor should not work. Okay. Which it does. Now that wasn't supposed to work. Now why is that happening? Well, it's not working now. Okay, so we'll put the power on, and I'll hit the whistle, and that horn should work. Let's see. Alright. I got the battery in. Now I notice it is picking up, it is picking up the metal which the contact is connected to. But it's not picking it up enough, or I have to just readjust that contact. But unfortunately, on these, every so often you have to make that adjustment. There. There you go. Well, that tells me that this engine is ready to put on the track and run around the layout. But what I also would like to do, and I'm going to make another video to do it, because then it'll be too long the video, is I'm going to check out the motor, take it apart, and see, what's inside, what has to be cleaned, but as of now, it's really working really nice. But anyway, I'm going to end the video, and I'll make another video actually working on the motor. All right, everybody have a great day. Take care now. Bye.